What is happening, my YouTube family? It is your boy B New, and as promised, I'm coming at y'all tonight to give you the pregame analysis of the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. But before I get into that, I just wanted to just kind of touch on some of the other headlines going on around the NBA. And as you all know, I had to get on our boy Stephan A Smith this morning about his takes against LeBron James. But what I really want to do now, Stephan A Smith, yet again, I see that you have just yet another horrible take. I don't know what's going on. I don't know, what it is with you, but I got to set some other things straight with you because you've been on my guy, Russell Westbrook. And I understand a lot of people think Russell Westbrook is not a great player, just think he is a stat patter and things of that nature. But even his teammate, Bradley Beal, said he's one of the best teammates, if not the best teammate he's ever had, because the work ethic that Russell Westbrook put in and night out. And he got respect among a lot of retired players and current players in the NBA because Russell Westbrook is going to give it his all every single day and every single night. And we know Russell Westbrook's wife came back and said something to Stephan A Smith via Instagram. And then Russell Westbrook did come back and say that he was a champion of life. Me being the Vols fan that I am, I won't say that I was real pleased with that statement, but it's a valid opinion if that's what it is. But we all know athletes do have to come under a certain amount of scrutiny because it is the media's job to analyze athletes and just base them off of their performance. But the thing where Stephan A Smith messed up is when it comes to Russell Westbrook. First of all, Stephan A Smith, you get on players for saying, see, you got that crab in the barrel mentality. You get on players for saying, oh, they play with other great players. But that's what a GM job is to do, to assemble the best team. So when players go around and want to go to teams that they want to go to, then if it's a person you like, it's not a problem. Or if the fans like, then it's not a problem, or it's not mentioned. But when the players want to do it, then all of a sudden it's a problem. But the thing is, you got Russell Westbrook. Look who he playing with. Look who he is playing with, and you talking about his record and what he's doing when he's giving this all every night. I mean, just think about it. Let's just take a look. Who is on the Washington Wizards? We got, other than Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, who is getting valuable minutes? Let's talk about Ru Hachimura, or however you say it. Ru Hachimura. So, I mean, just saying that let you know, who is this guy? He's a second-year player. He's getting 35 minutes a night. He's their starting power forward. I can barely even say his name. And I mean, I'm an avid NBA fan, and I'm not going to say that I'm a scout and I know every single team from top to bottom. But as far as the roster is concerned, who is Ru Hachimura? I mean, at the end of the day, that's 35. He getting you 35 minutes a game, but he only getting you 4 points a game. So that's getting you 4 points a game, but eating up 35 minutes a game. And you mad at Russell Westbrook. And then you got Thomas Bryant. That's who you got coming in the center with Robin Lopez. And Thomas Bryant getting you 27 minutes a game and is a 4-year player. So another very young player. And this is who you want to help Russell Westbrook, and you're saying, why are they below 500? When there's other teams in the East that's really playing great basketball, and you still have to take on the West? And then who else you got? Chandler Hutchison, the new addition from the Bulls, who was traded for Troy Brown, who was a first-round pick for the Wizards, who didn't pan out and didn't do anything to get Hutchison, who wasn't even getting any minutes in Chicago whatsoever, although he did come in and play pretty good his first game with the Wizards the other night. So maybe that's somebody that can give a little bit of firepower to the Wizards offense to maybe help Russell Westbrook out a little bit. And then you got Deni Avdija? Deni Avdija? That's a rookie. He getting 22 minutes a game. So he getting 22 minutes a game. This is who coming off your bench. Deni Avdija. 22 minutes a game. He's giving you 6 points a game. And then when you talk about veterans, who are you talking about? Robin Lopez? You talking about Robin Lopez and Ish Smith. So your backup point guard to Russ and your backcourt to Beal is Ish Smith. Now, Ish Smith been in the league 10 years. How many of you heard of him? Man, come on. He sounds like he's some ish, if you ask me. But he getting you 20 minutes a game and 12 points per game. Now, come on, Stephan A. Now, let's say if Russell Westbrook was to, say, pull a James Harden move and then not play and force a trade somewhere and said that he would only go to Philly, then that would be a problem, right? Would that be a problem for you, Stephen A? But yet you want to get on this man because he's playing with trash players. If maybe the Wizards had a bench that they could rely on, if maybe they had a bench they could rely on, but that'll bring me to the Los Angeles Lakers, is what I'm really here to talk about and how I think they're going to match up tonight. But before I do that, I just want to give y'all, it's not, you know how Ernie had his Nito stat of the night? Well, this is the Be New Interesting Fun Factoid. I'm going to do this on my evening shows every time I drop one on you. On this day in 1996, the San Antonio Spurs went 16-0. So that lets you know how great the Spurs franchise is. I mean, that was in 96. Do you know they went 20 years in a row with making the playoffs, which is the longest in any sports category of people making the postseason in a row? And I know the NBA has 8 seeds and everything, but at the end of the day, there were higher seeds in most of those matchups. So the Spurs dynasty is something that is well respected, and Popovich really built something great in San Antonio. So shout out to the Spurs, because on this day, the mighty Admiral David Robinson helped lead the Spurs to a 16-0 record. At the time, the only other team who had did that was the 1971 Lakers, who we all know holds the streak, I believe, at 35 wins in a row. Since then, 4 other teams have accomplished that, and I want to say one of them was the Golden State Warriors in 2015. Sound familiar? Some of LeBron competition, a great team like the Golden State Warriors. And interestingly enough, one of those teams was the 2015 Atlanta Hawks, who LeBron demolished in the playoffs as well. But that was a great team too, 16-0. A lot of people don't think that they were a great team, but the Hawks almost put up the record that year too, and went on that run and won, I want to say, 27, 28 games in a row. But nonetheless, let's get down to business. Let's get on to tonight's matchup. So the last time, as we all know, let me refresh everybody's memory. As we all know, the last time the Lakers played the Bucks, LeBron James dropped 34.6 rebounds and had 8 assists, and Anthony Davis had 18.6 rebounds and 6 assists the last time they played. But as we all know, there is no LeBron James and there is no Anthony Davis tonight. And we all know that Giannis Antetokounmpo is having a phenomenal year. He's not being talked about in the MVP category because he's being penalized for what happened in the postseason the past couple of years. Even though it's not a postseason award, we won't get into that. We know how the media creates their narratives, and they like who they like. And that's the reason why LeBron James only got 4 MVPs. But we'll say that for another conversation at another time. So anyway, Giannis is averaging 28.4, 11.5 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. So he's going to be looking to bounce back from the other night when they played the Clippers out in Los Angeles. So they still there in Los Angeles, and like I said in my other video, they might have went out and had a good time. I don't know, but we shall see on how they play tonight. But the Lakers are coming off one of the best rests that they have this whole season. But let's talk about what's really going to make it great, though. What's really going to make this matchup great is the addition of Andre Drummond. Now, Drummond has a tall task on his hand tonight, taking on Giannis Antetokounmpo, like I said, who is averaging 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. But the great thing is Andre Drummond came into practice. He had a really great practice. Coach Vogel said that Andre was in really great shape, which is a great testament to Andre Drummond discipline as far as working on his body, having been on the shelf for the past month and not playing any games at all. So since Andre Drummond didn't play these games, sometimes it does take you to get your touch back around the rim, but I think he will be able to develop that soft touch that he has around the rim. But we know he is definitely going to be a monster on the board. And anytime you add a new player mid-season, especially one that's capable of Andre Drummond, who's capable of going out and doing the things he does, it's like a shot in the arm to the Lakers. So I'm pretty sure that they was all feeling it in practice. Everybody said the team was upbeat in practice, so I think the Lakers are going to get off to a great start tonight. But also, the great thing about it is Marc Gasol realizes where he is in his career right now and has been willing to take a lesser role and be relegated to the bench to back up Andre Drummond, which would be a great thing because the Lakers still need a big body, and that's when Anthony Davis and LeBron James has been out, when they haven't had a big body, especially with Marc Gasol being out. From COVID, they did not have a big body to clog the lane, but now that's going to be a big difference. So now they had 2 big bodies as well as Montrezl. But what I found interesting tonight is that Frank Vogel, who I'm not always happy with his rotations, the starting lineup, what they're saying is going to be point guard Dennis Schroeder. KCP is going to be the shooting guard, of course. They got Kyle Kuzma listed in the 3 spot, Markieff Morris in the 4 spot, and of course, rounding out the 5th spot is Andre Drummond at center. So I'm wondering how that's going to work out. Me personally, I would like to see Montrezl Harrell start because I like his energy. I don't think he necessarily has to come off the bench now because now we have Marc Gasol to come off the bench in that center position because a lot of times Trez was playing that center position, and then I think you can keep Markieff Morris on the bench or let Markieff Morris play the 3 spot and then keep Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench. That way you still have a stretch on the floor and you still have somebody with height to play with Marc Gasol. That way Kuzma could play the 4 spot and Mark could play the 5 spot. So if it was on me, my starting lineup would actually be Dennis Schroeder, KCP. I would go with probably Kyle Kuzma in the 3 or either Markieff Morris in the 3. I'll probably go with Morris in the 3 spot. Then let Montrezl Harrell play the 4 spot and then top it off with Andre Drummond. Because what's going to happen on the defensive end is, Antetokounmpo is capable of, now I won't say stretching the floor because he's not a great 3-point shooter, but he's more than capable of doing it. The thing you want to get away from is letting him get downhill. So you want to limit any kind of fast break opportunities and letting the Bucks get out. And the Lakers, with their #1 defense in the league, I think will limit those opportunities and run the Bucks off of the 3-point line tonight. So with all that being said, if I do want to point this out, so with the lineup that Vogel has inserted with Markieff Morris in the starting lineup, I'm hoping that Kyle Kuzma is going to have to come over and maybe give help to guard Giannis. Because Andre Drummond, if he guards Giannis, that's going to leave Brook Lopez to swallow up Markieff Morris because he's way bigger and way taller than Markieff Morris. So what I'm thinking with Kyle Kuzma being in the starting lineup in that 3 spot, maybe in a defensive rotation, he'll slide over and take on the challenge of guarding Brook Lopez, even though he will be undersized as well, not height-wise, but weight-wise, because Brook Lopez is a great post-up player, and that's something that Kyle Kuzma simply isn't. A post defender. That's not really in his repertoire. He's more of a person who wants to get up and down the floor, who can shoot the 3 ball, who can try to play a little bit of perimeter defense, but he's naturally a 3 and not really a 4 in my opinion. So that's why Markieff Morris is lining up in the 4 spot. And though Morris is a little bit undersized, he does have the ability to get up in you and play great defense when he has to. So, and he can also stretch the floor too. So that's with the Lakers going small. So maybe Vogel is onto something. I won't knock him yet because with the way he has it, that's still going to bring Trez Harrell off the bench, as well as bring Gasol off the bench for your front court. And then let's not forget about THT, because of course he's going to do his thing. And then Caruso, which makes me remember the last matchup when the Lakers did play the Bucks, and we remember what happened with Caruso hitting a very crucial shot in the waning minutes. Also, KCP with like 2 minutes left hit a crucial 3, and then it was LeBron James, as we know, who hit another 3 in the waning minutes with like 1 minute left. To put the icing on the cake and to really separate them the last time as they went on to win. But like I said before, there's no Anthony Davis and no LeBron James tonight, as we all know. What I found interesting, the Vegas line tonight is giving the Lakers 8.5 points. I'm not trying to tell people what to do with their money, but I'm just going to tell you it wouldn't hurt to put a little bit of something on this game tonight, because I feel like the Lakers are going to keep this as close as they can. I think they actually match up well with Andre Drummond, but it's still to see if he's going to be in game shape or not. And plus, he still has to fit and understand what they do on offense. But as a center, it's not a lot that he has to learn, because pick and roll is pick and roll, posting up is posting up. So they're still going to have to call out a certain amount of offensive sets, and especially in key situations, you may see Marc Gasol, since he is more familiar with running the offense as well as the defensive sets. But nonetheless, I think from top to bottom, the Lakers have the better of the 2 teams right now, even with LeBron James and Anthony Davis being out. I say that because of the bench players, because the reserves for the Lakers is Marc Gasol, Montrezl Harrell, Alex Caruso, and THT. And then let's not forget Wesley Matthews, who I hope goes to the very bottom of the lineup. He still may come in for defensive purposes, because he can come in and maybe he can help guard Middleton somewhat, just depending on how the night goes. But you just never know with the Lakers injuries, because I swear at the end of the game, it looked like Wesley Matthews might have tweaked that ankle. And I was like, oh, man, first I thought it was Trez, and I was like, oh, my goodness, it was him. So thank God it wasn't Trez or anybody that we really needed. No knock to my boy Wesley Matthews. But anyway, like I was saying, if the Lakers, I think they're going to come out and keep it close in the first quarter and second quarter. I think the Bucks may have a slight lead going into the halftime. I think what is really going to be key is who comes out and takes control of that third quarter. because most teams who come out and take control of the third quarter, if the Bucks come out and get a 10-0 run, it might be something that the Lakers can't dig themselves out of, and they will not win the game. But if the Lakers can come out and punch Milwaukee in the mouth after they make their adjustments in the locker room, don't forget they had the likes of an offensive genius mind and a defensive genius mind like Jason Kidd on the sidelines as an assistant coach. So let's not forget that. So maybe they can make some adjustments at halftime. I'm not sure if the Lakers have any fans. I heard that they were going to maybe let 50 or 100 fans in. They're starting to restrict some COVID restrictions. I will be in LA next week. Y'all let me know if you want me to go live from the Staples Center. Put it in the comments if you want me to go live from the Staples Center. So anyway, this is your boy B New. I'm just telling y'all, as always, right on to the real. Much love to the haters, man. Please stay tuned. I'm trying to keep these nighttime shows going as well if I can, as far as pregame analysis for any of the Lakers games. So if you guys want me to talk about anything else, put it in the comments. As always, much love to all the subscribers, right on to the real, and much love to the haters. I'm out.